And I know, as well as many of you, we are all glad to be back on the PlayStation Network. And what I'm going to bring to you guys to start off, none other than a free-for-all, which is a game mode I never play, and many of you know that. So I'm going to bring you a free-for-all where I'm actually sniping, and it's a fairly good, not going to say great because it's not great by any means. It's a fairly good gameplay where I was at the end like 27 and 11 or 29 and 11, but of course you know me. I tried to go for the epic game-winning kill cam, and for many of us that just it doesn't seem to happen sometimes, and it obviously wasn't destined for it to happen for me today. So this kill cam is just a no scope from like 10 feet away, I think, is about what it finishes as. So it's by no means anything epic, and I do apologize for any potential hard scopes or secondary uses or panic knives that you see, but sometimes it happens and there's not much you can do about it. And I'd also like to apologize at the start that the fact that I still am sick, I'm congested, and my throat hurts, and I can only really hear out of one ear right now. So using my Tritons hasn't really been beneficial for me today because I can only hear them if they're sneaking up from me on the right side. But I would recommend that headset to anybody. So if you guys are looking for a new headset, if you've got the money to pick one up, I also recommend the PX21s. I had those up until I bought the Triton AX Pros, and I was very satisfied with those as well. So if you guys are looking for a new headset, there you go. And what I really wanted to talk about today was mainly, you know, how did you pass your time? And while the PlayStation Network was down, actually. So I know for me, I'm a busy guy. I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I work a full-time schedule with a few hours overtime every week. So I work around 42, 43, 44 hours a week or so. And I also was in school. So summer classes, I'm not taking summer classes, so I'm actually done for now. And a lot of my buddies are back home and done for now. So what we've been doing, just like old times, just like in high school, you know, we started playing basketball again. And to me, basketball is probably one of the most fun sports that I can still play. Not being in high school, I can't play football anymore. And it's not the same playing like two-hand touch or something, you know. None of the rough stuff where you're throwing on the pads and you can just get pissed off at whoever comes your way. So we played a lot of basketball until his neighbors started complaining about us having a basketball hoop in the street, which has got to be one of the dumbest things I've ever heard a neighbor complain about. And I'll probably rant about that next as another topic of discussion. And at any point, go ahead and leave a comment, you guys, as far as what you did to pass the time. For me, it was mainly construed with taking, you know, playing basketball, working. It gave me a lot more time to study for my finals, time that I probably wouldn't have put towards it, that I'm willing to bet helped me out a lot more than if I didn't study for them. So it's been a very long time off, I would say. I'm not going to say it was a short time off. It's been a very long time off, but it hasn't been anything that would affect normal life, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, it's not going to change anything that I would have done differently. Even if the PlayStation Network was up, I would have been playing basketball with my buddies. I'm not saying that, oh, just because it was down, I decided to go ahead and, you know, work out a little bit and all that kind of. No, I didn't. And nothing changed for me. I would have been playing basketball with those guys anyways. It's just they're really good friends of mine, and he's off from, you know, Michigan State for the summer. Donovan, I'm sure you guys have seen him in the videos before. It's Fresh Prince 313. He came home from, you know, Michigan State for the summer, and we've already played basketball over there for at least, you know, and it's only May. We've been over there 3-4 days already. You know, like full days. I'm talking like hours straight just playing basketball. And like I said, until his neighbors complain about the hoop being on the street. And when you start playing basketball with these guys, the time flies by so fast you don't know what's going on. So your time's going by and you're not even thinking about the PlayStation Network. But when I actually do get home and have nothing to do, I go home and I'll look up the PlayStation blog, see if there's an update on the network. And I'll see comments in this like at the bottom. And I just look and I'm like, well, okay, why are these people so reliant upon the network being on? It's like, do you not have any friends you can go do anything with? Go hang out with? Go play some sports? Be active? Because you know you're going to be the person that's just sitting on the couch all day, sitting in front of your TV playing the game anyways. Why don't you go do something while you have the opportunity when it's not there? Go have some fun. I see the people complaining on there, I need this back now. It's ruining my life. And I just, I kind of laughed because I'm like, well, I'm glad I'm not that guy. Let that pass along to the next guy. And, I just kind of brush it off. But for me, my time was, like I said, mainly spent playing basketball. I went bowling a few times. I hadn't been bowling in quite a while again. And it was fun because I used what I could consider my own bowling ball now, so I bowl a lot better. And it's just things that I haven't done in a while. I took the opportunity to do while it was down. I didn't want to sit at home all the time just thinking, oh man, what am I going to do without this network? What am I going to do without this network? And I just went about everyday life. Nothing would have been different even if the network was on. So, as I was saying earlier, the next kind of thing I want to talk about is, do you guys have any neighbors that just sometimes either really piss you off or just do some of the dumbest things, such as say that you're not allowed to put a basketball hoop on a city street? Has anybody ever heard that before? And mind you, I still, as much as I hated the guy for saying it to us, I have to respect what he says in some way, shape, or form because he is an elder to me. But when you're telling 18 and 19-year-old and even a 20-year-old guys that they can't put a basketball hoop in the street, I think that's taking it a little bit too far. And I wanted to know if you guys have any neighbors that are like that, to where it's almost a joke. And you can't really confront them because it's disrespectful. And in my situation, it was my friend's neighbor where I was at his house. So I couldn't really say anything to the guy that I would have said if he lived by me. Just out of respect for their family, and I don't want them to have any issues with their neighbors. So I was very polite to the guy. We moved the rim up, and we went on from there. We played in his driveway. So this game's coming to an end. You're seeing all my fails that I'm going for, and I eventually just give up as I get tired of dealing with the failed attempts and getting killed by the TAR 21 guy and the UMP guy like 1,000 times. I'm gonna run up here and eventually no-scope the guy up top, so it'll end that way. Sorry to break it for you. I didn't mean to ruin the ending for you. If you're expecting that like cinematic ending, it doesn't end with anything epic, so sorry. I get a couple more hit markers, I think, maybe. So the gameplay is actually coming to an end. So if you guys will go ahead and do me a favor and make sure to rate, comment, subscribe, and also respond to the questions that I've asked throughout this, because I'm trying to turn my commentaries away from talking about the gameplay as much to talking about real life situations, since you guys can see the gameplay actually going on your own. So